welcome to Mugello in the new Hyundai Elantra. Now for this race we've chosen not to qualify. We are starting off pretty much in position 7, which is not actual bad overall. We are quite far up the pack. Getting a great launch off the line. Honda Civic decided that they didn't want to participate in the race, so we're going to keep to the left hand side of the car to our right, who was squeezing us ever so slightly as we're turning for this first corner, going in wide, turning in. Hyundai dives up the inside here and we stick behind the fart can up in front. Turning in for this corner, Hyundai to our right gets apex syndrome and pulls us off the track. Not a bad start. And for some reason I got the penalty for it. Yeah, I don't understand how I, on the inside of the corner, trying to turn in and the car hits my back end, which thus stops my cornering ability. Somehow my fault. If you can let me know, Forza Stewards, down in the comments below, how you can justify such an idiotic penalty, that'd be much appreciated. And if you guys think I am at fault for that penalty, let me know down in the comments below. So we do have a lot of clawing back to do, as in, like, we started off in position 7, we're in now 15, which is not good news. Thankfully though, we are in a very capable car, which means hopefully we'll be able to start catching up. And there is a, well, the pack up in front is huge. Surprisingly enough, there was a car off track. I think they've disappeared now, and we have actually caught up to the Lavorg up in front. I'm going to go to the left hand side here as they're defending the inner part of the corner. They may well be able to handle better, but coming out of the corner, I'm going to have the inside line. Can I get onto that power before they can and make a move? We are side by side, but they do back off, so I'm going to take up that room they have given me. Not too sure where that car is going, and they may have forgot their shopping and someone's handing it over the barrier, who knows. But I'm fluffing up this corner ever so slightly, but managing to bring it back in. Coming round now, we are 1 second away from the cars up in front, which means 0.8 now. We might start be able to eat off their slipstream up in front. We have gained a few places though. We are now up to position 12. Although one car did go farming and the other one fell off the track and disappeared, still counts as an upgrade. Braking at the 100 board, down to second gear and turning in, looking up the outside of the cars up in front, but not making a move because I've got the outside line. I am not going to be any quicker than they are. But hopefully I can be quicker through the S's as we go through now. Get the inside line. There we go. Power, power, power. Come on. Let's get going through here. Catching up to Alex up in front. Braking down to third gear. Over the curb we go. Bring it back over to the right. Can we get the inside line? I was going for it, but I bottled out because I didn't think there was enough space with the car up in front. Over the curb here we go. And just keep an eye out where that rear car's going. That one has gone wide and into the dirt and basically actually held up the car behind. Thankfully, that was incredible. Perfect timing. Couldn't get it better than that. So that's another 2 places gained. We are now up to 10. And the person who took us off the track up in front. Oddly enough, they didn't get a penalty though. Although the contact was from their front end to my rear end. Yeah, and I was on the inside of the corner as well. I just don't get it. And it is frustrating because, and don't get me wrong, I'm grateful that it is not anything higher than the 0.5 because that would have just really wrecked the race, let's be honest. I mean, 0.5 I can live with. That's not much different to also cutting a track penalty. Usually when you get the 3 or 4 second penalties, it's just game over. You might as well just walk off and not even bother, because that's pretty much what it feels like when you get a mistake penalty like that. And I totally understand where everybody's coming from when they get penalties like that. But thankfully, like I say, it's only 0.5 and we are catching up to the car up in front. Don't get me wrong, I don't massively blame that car up in front for the situation. From what it looked like is that they braked and their back end stepped out, which basically pointed them in the direction of my rear end as I was entering that corner. And it is what it is. I would personally put it down to an incident. Obviously, better car control would have obviously alleviated that. But it happens, you know. I mean, let me know what you think down in the comments below. Do you think it is, you know, a racing incident? Or do you think there was a more of a malicious intent behind it? Or I could be wrong, you know, you guys know I'm quite soft and I try to look at the broader picture of things where I could be wrong. Anyway, digressing and getting away from this situation, we are catching up to the trio up in front. Actually, it's just a trio and then there's nothing after that for a little while. So I've really got to get past this trio of cars and then I could probably start catching up to the ones up in front. Hopefully, that was very close. I thought I was going to fall off the track there. Coming out of here now, 1 second away from the car up in front. I also think they may be going to have battles with the two cars in front of them. It's got a Honda Civic and a 308. Do you know what? It's really nice to see the Honda Civic actually being very competitive now. Don't get me wrong, it was a great car before, but it just didn't have the legs as other cars have. And same as the 308. 308 handled great, it just didn't have the legs compared to some of the other cars. And it's great to see that now there's a much broader range of cars on the track. And yeah, I think it's brilliant to see. Let me know what you think about the BOP changes down in the comments below. Do you think it has created a better racing overall? Or do you think there's still the meta car? And if there is one, what is it? The Elantra is making a move on the 308. I'm going to sit back and watch this unfold because they're going to both be playing with their slipstreams. There's a car park there. It's that Honda Civic from earlier. Car park there, sir. That's just terrible. Wonder what's going to happen as we enter this corner. Breaking 100-meter board. The Elantra's on the outside. 308's on the inside. Contact between them both, so I'm going to capitalize upon that. Go up the inside. Contact has been made again. As we're going up in the corner now, the car behind does back off. And its behavior like that makes me see it wasn't a malicious intent, because if it was malicious, they would have then done it again as they had the opportunity. So to me, I think it was just literally they braked, the back end stepped out, and the car pointed in another direction. Well, the correct direction they wanted, but maybe a little bit too much, thus causing the incident we had together. But we are getting very close to that Peugeot to our left hand side here. Going through that corner, it was dicey for me to make that move. Contact had been made. Thankfully, we're both still on the track. And that's what I love about TCR racing. Nothing like making your elbows massive, smashing into the side of cars, providing you both stay on the track. It's not smashing, it's more leaning on each other as you're going through the corners. And I really do enjoy that about TCR racing. Getting very close to that 308 up in front. Come on, buddy. Let's get through here. And I like the livery, actually. Magna 308 TCR on the rear. Look at the livery on it. Going up the inside here. Oh, a little bit of apex syndrome there again as we go up the inside. And the Elantra as well pushing me through and pretty much battering the 308 out of the way. So working together as a team as we both have the same car and the same livery. Problem is now we're both coming into the fast section as we come round here. So the Elantra is going to have the slipstream, which does mean we're pretty much both going to be neck and neck as we come down here. So I am going to stick to the right hand side of the track, so I have the inside line of turn 1 and pretty much keep them on the outside as they are getting very close to me here. Do you mind? I need a little bit of personal space, thank you very much. Braking into this corner now, down to second gear and turning in. Want to get in that power just before them, so I have the inside line of turn 1 and turn 2. I don't think they did back out there. That was close. I didn't think they was going to back out, which has compromised my entry into this corner, and they may capitalize upon that. So I'm going to have the inside line of this next corner. Come on, I need a little bit more go in this car. Down to third gear, rubbing that curb. I thought they were going to still stay side by side, but it did back out, thankfully, and we managed to keep on our line. They are looking to make a move. They are putting the pressure on. And there's a third Elantra joining the party. I can see in the rearview mirror now. There's a trio of us all working in tandem. Well, I wouldn't say working in tandem. We're all really pushing ourselves to our limits to get through the section now. Coming round here, we are on the curbs, pushing this car to its limits, and then braking down to third gear as we come through this corner now. Going through a little bit slow and trying to create a little bit of something that's better than what we are in now. You know, it's a little bit of bottleneck, making them brake a little bit more and thus I can try and increase that gap between us. Of course, that's going to cost me time from the cars up in front, but I'm 5 seconds away from Spin Diesel 07, so it's going to be quite hard to capture that time up. I do think I might have to pit, because I am on minor wear on my front left-hand tyre right now, and I don't really fancy running this track on worn tyres, so I'm going to keep to the right hand side here and pretty much make myself known that I am going to go into the pits. And the last second turn, and so is the car behind. I was hoping to fake him, to be honest with you, but whilst we are in the pits, I'd like to take a moment out to thank our channel members, which are Jeffrey Anderson, Andy Good, Sigmatic, Daniel Adams, John Burns, and AK47. Thank you guys ever so much for supporting the channel, and if you'd also like to support the channel, click the join button down below and become a channel member. And if you haven't done so already, don't forget to subscribe. Coming out of the pits, we have created quite a gap from the car behind. I was a bit nervous that they might still be in tow with us. They have gone for the left hand side of the track. I stayed on the right just for the pit line. They don't have to, it's just personal choice. Coming around this corner now in second gear, going a bit slower than they were, so they had to brake mid-corner, thus creating a bit more of a gap. Hopefully, I might be a little bit quicker through this section than they are, as I am really pushing the limits of the track. I must bear in mind though, I don't want to get another penalty, so I've got to be very careful of that as we come over this section here, onto the curbs. And so now to the side, 0.6 seconds away from the car behind as we're coming in for this turn here, onto the curb, downhill, and then touch of the brakes into third gear and accelerating out the side. Could have done that in fourth gear. I had to slow down. I was a bit squirrely through there, thus the car behind actually catching up to me. Oh, they have a 0.5 second penalty as well. Didn't realise that. Anyway, coming around here onto the green and accelerating out the other side, 0.6 seconds away. They're going to keep that pressure on me, I'm not going to lie, and I've gone wide. And I gained a 0.4 second penalty. Somehow that a little bit wide and being slower was a time gain of 0.4 of a second. Oddly enough though, the car behind managed to catch up. Just saying. I know, we could all moan about the penalty system. We do all moan about the penalty system. Yes, there is improvements to be made. I generally think that it, like we all know, it is a computer system that is picking off yes and no tech trees. So did you go off track? Yes. Was it a time? You know, I don't understand where they got their values of time from, but it is what it is. What can you do? I mean, I'm 0.9 in total. The Elantra has got the run on me, but I do have the inside. Oh, there's a car coming out of the pit. Inside line of this next corner. Whether I choose to continue pushing, I'm not too sure, because we are side by side and I'm going to have the line in turn one. What I am tempted to do is this now. Give them the position for the time being. Now hear me out here. You might think, Flash, you are crazy for backing out. You're going to push that. Yes, I could have. But I have that penalty. Whilst I'm behind them, I have relieved the pressure from myself and given them the pressure. So whilst I'm up their backside, they're going to be pushing and pushing to try and shake me off, thus hoping that they make a mistake and either A, gain a penalty, or B, fall off the track. And that is the hope I'm hoping for. Whilst I don't have the pressure on me, it relieves me the chance of going over the board and going off the track myself. So that's the way I see it. Obviously I will see it differently, but hit that like button if you agree with my mentality here and you think, you know, Flash, you're an absolute genius, and hit the like button if you also think I'm an absolute muppet as well. Coming out here now, we have lost a little bit of time from the person up in front, but I'm not overly concerned. See, there's a mistake made there and I've reeled it back in a little bit. Golden Boy Crazy is 4.4 seconds away behind. We are in position 8 now. If we do choose to, and we have the opportunity obviously to overtake the car in front, we'll have position 7 back again. I think position 7 seems to be a place where I am at the moment. for the last 2 races. But to be fair, the last 2 races have been a little bit chaotic, shall we say. I am enjoying it though. I'm enjoying it. Coming down here, we have the slipstream from the launcher up in front. There was a person in the pits a minute ago. He must have come out. Position 1 is 16.5 seconds away. And there's a couple of cars up in front here. Oh, I'm too busy looking at the radar, well, on the map, and not paying attention to the road I'm on. Oh, dear me. Thankfully, though, we didn't go gardening, so that is a plus sign right there. Over the curbs we go, bringing it back onto the curbs on the right-hand side, accelerating out onto the green. Make sure you only have your left wheels on the green, and don't let the right-hand wheels follow over, because that is a penalty zone. And if you even go further than that and touch that dirty bit of the sand and gravel, you will sink. It is an absolute animal. But we are looking to make a move on the car on the left-hand side here. We are braking. I'm going to push it through, cut in that corner as bravely as I could, and just sent it through, gaining that position back. Now we only have 2 laps to hold them off, and we did apply that pressure for a period of time, so hopefully it's worn them out ever so slightly. It did look like they nearly went wide there, but I don't think they collected a penalty, and it doesn't look like it. We are now 0.7 seconds away. I must bear in mind, I have to make sure I am a minimum of 0.4 seconds away from them at all times to keep hold of. That was close. This position, else all of this is in vain. Yeah. Well, I mean, we only have 2 laps after this to go, lap 9, a lap 10, and hopefully, if I can keep the consistency I've got at the moment, and pretty much getting away from the car behind by the looks of it, 0.8 seconds away now, we are onto a winner. The big factor now really is, as we come around this corner now, we've got to make sure we have and maintain more than 0.8 as we're coming out of this corner now, because they are on the slipstream. It's going to hold us back. Well, they're going to be able to reel us in, and by the looks of it, we are 0.8 seconds away. If they might click to 0.7, but I don't think it's going to be able to benefit them. Got my fingers crossed, and it's still 0.8 at the moment, which is absolute brilliant news. They are not in the slipstream. We're going to be looking out for the 100 board here on the left hand side. That's our braking zone. Down to 3rd gears, we're turning in, then down to 2nd to get better rotation, accelerating out of the corner. They did brake better than myself as they came in. They're 0.6 seconds away. Not overly concerned. I can start reeling them away at this latter beginning section of the track. Oh my gosh, that was terrible flash. Yeah, well, the plan went out the window when I totally fluffed up that corner. I had nothing but understeer, and the car just wouldn't come back. It happens. It happens. You could do the same corner 1,000 times in this game, and then suddenly the 1,001th time it's like, nah. It's just not having it. But we have managed to claw away that time again from the car behind, 0.5 seconds away. I'm not overly concerned through this twisted section of the track because that slipstream isn't going to benefit them. It's on the run as we're going past start finish line, where I've got to make sure they're not in the slipstream of this car. So we are now 6.1 seconds away from the car up in front of ourselves, 0.5 from Ventry behind. Come on, stop braving those track limits. Getting very close there again. The last thing I need on my shoulder is another penalty. Right, there we go. Get back into focus, get back into control of this car. I mean, almost 1 second of penalties. That's not good. Not a good sign. This is not a good sign either. There's 0.3 seconds away as we're coming in for this corner here. Braking down to 3rd gear, letting the car coast around a little bit, and then soon as we start seeing that red thing on the right hand side, red flag, is when I start accelerating out of the corner. They are 0.4 seconds away behind us now, which is the optimal point of slipstream. So I am going to have to think about playing defensively in a moment, and hopefully, I mean, the slipstream is not as powerful as it once was, don't get me wrong, but they are gaining a few miles per hour, so I am going to go into the defensive position to the inside line of the next corner. Locked up a little bit there, but a bit of contact from the car behind. Obviously now things are getting a bit more desperate. We are on the final lap and they are looking to make that move. So yeah, not too sure about the rear end contact. Maybe they probably expected me to go a bit quicker, or not too sure. It is what it is. It didn't affect this car whatsoever, which is nice. I do kind of like the new bump physics when it does behave in the correct manner. So all it did was just basically slow them down. Coming through here now, we are 0.8 seconds away from that car behind. We have created a good bit of time gap, and we just got to make sure we keep hold of it and not claim a silly penalty. That is the big one. It's getting another penalty. Yeah, it's so easy to get off the track limits on this track because the curbs are quite wide and the track limits are the curbs pretty much. So you have a lot of room to play with, and then suddenly you don't. Coming around here now, 0.6 seconds away. As long as I can keep that magic 0.4, we are onto a winner. Braking at the border left hand side, down to third gear, turning in. I got minor wear on the front left hand tyre. I'm going to accelerate now, bring it over to the right, cut the corner on the left, and then really cut this corner on the right. Braving those track limits. Bring it back over to the right hand side of the track. As soon as you get to the end of the tarmac, there's the darker spot. That's your braking point right there. Third gear. We're going to go in nice and tight. This is perfect. Accelerating out the other side. That's actually probably one of my better lines through there. 0.8 seconds away from the car behind. We have claimed position 7. And Lightning McQueen is 10.4 seconds away up in front. Yeah. I really enjoy this car. I think it's absolutely brilliant. Let me know what you think about this car down in the comments below. We finished in position 7. Best lap time is a 2:01, so 2 seconds off the leader's best lap time. So improvements can be made. I reckon I could shave another second off in total, and that would be golden.